Hello, everyone. It's Achusika Nku from Esports Africa News. And as always, we are exploring, we are exposing, we are spotlighting, we are bringing to you guys this interesting development in Africa from game developers to esports athletes, esports teams, comics, uh, Comic Con Summit, everything in the industry we like to talk about and spotlight and sort of bring to the fore because Africa has got so much talent that we've not been speaking about. So we at Esports Africa News are bringing you this opportunity. So if you've got any special feature that you want to talk about, reach out to us, DM us, and engage with us so we can also bring you some level of exposure so others will know what you're doing. This particular one is supported by Zebra Comics. Zebra Comics is the prime comic production group in Africa, and they are based in Cameroon. They've got so many titles under their belt, and today we're going to hear much more about that. So we would like to get the information from the person sat with us today. So go ahead and introduce yourself and tell us about who you are first.
Yeah. Thank you very much. That's quite an intro, anyway. So yeah, my name is I'm Dr. Ejoh Kayos, one of the co-founders of Zebra Comics. I'm also the Chief Operations Officer, I'm a writer, editor, and the head of content. Yeah, at Zebra Comics. So a lot of caps.
That's good.
Yeah, so basically, I see to the day-to-day running of the business, what the different production teams, and discussions with partners, and I review scripts and edit scripts from other writers, from other in-house writers and freelance writers that we have, and yeah, that's basically what I do every day. And then I write too. I do write too.
That's good. That's interesting to hear from you. So Zebra Comics, I used to read comics when I was a lot younger. These days with the gadgets and stuff, I don't know if the kids do read comics, but obviously we've got digital comics, so that's great. And I used to read the African. So for reading was the Pan African Writers series. We had a few comics, and I think one of the popular ones was Tintin that everybody used to read.
Yeah.
Tintin
Yeah.
comics and all that. But over the time, we sort of missed out on African developed comics. So what is Zebra Comics doing specially, and what are they bringing into this region in terms of comics?
Yeah, it's good that you mentioned the issue of what we were exposed to. I guess that's what the primary issue that we're trying to solve comes from. We were only exposed to stories and comics that coming from the West, from Europe, from North America, and all that. And yeah, they were nice, they were enjoyable, but we didn't have stories based on ourselves. We didn't have superheroes based on our own backstories. We didn't have historical comics based on our history and all that. So, as much as we enjoyed the stories coming from outside the continent, we needed stories that also reflect our own realities, that reflect our own stories. So, that's where Zebra Comics, the idea behind Zebra Comics started. But with time, we evolved. With time, we evolved to go beyond that because we realized that for this to work, we needed to have a structured industry in Africa, just like we have in Europe and in the West and North America. So it's not just about producing the stories, it's not just about producing the stories. It's about creating an environment where every actor can thrive. So that's what we've evolved to. So first creating the stories, and now creating a structured industry.
So that is interesting because bringing into focus African content, that's what Zebra has done over the past years. When did Zebra start? How's been the journey? And is it in both French and Cameroon? Because we've not talked about this, but you're based in Cameroon, so is it both in French and Cameroon? Can you let us in a bit on Zebra? How far Zebra has come?
Yeah, so the idea came from our main founder, Ejoh. He was an artist too. Growing up, he loved to draw and all that, but with all the dreams, maybe one day work at Marvel, DC, like every other young artist had in the day. But now the gap, which I mentioned before, the lack of African stories, led him to say, okay, but rather than waiting to work under these guys and produce something like why don't I start the movement myself? So from there the idea came, and then he got in touch with a few friends, our PR guy. So they've been friends since from childhood. So they got together, and from there other guys came in. Our marketing guy Frank came in. I came in. We were in the same house. So just natural. So I came in. I came in too. Other people joined us along the way, and there were a lot of us at the start, but the 8 founders that are there now are the core people who have stayed through right from the start to now. So because it's not been an easy journey. So that's how we started. We started with print comics like every other person, and then when we did our studies on the market, we realized that there was no structure for print comics like you see in North America and Europe. And that was the first problem that we faced. That was the primary drive towards digital. And then in 2016, we officially launched under the name Zebra Comics, because at first our name was EAN Comics. I think energy. What was it again? So long ago. So it was EAN Comics at the time, and then we rebranded to Zebra Comics in 2016. 2020, we became an official company, duly registered as a PLC, and from there, a lot of things have been happening. So that's just a brief of how we started.
No, that sounds interesting. I know every business has got its journey, and it's nice to know how it's all come about, and now you're quite successful. So Zebra Comics, what have you developed so far, and which ones are particularly African featured, and how's it been taken by the public?
Yeah, about the last part of your question, I was surprised you there. So let me go gradually. So when we started, we discovered that we needed to produce our own content rather than just relying on other people. So we started as a production house, and since 2016, we have produced over 70 plus titles.
Oh, that's interesting.
70 plus, which is something no other person has done so far.
That's interesting. Easy. Very busy.
Yeah. So among the 70, we have limited series, we have ongoing long series, and we have one shot. But most of them are long series stories. So we were able to create over 70 plus of them. And what has been surprising is one of the titles that has really outperformed our expectations was a title that first started like an experiment. We did our studies on, like when we were really a digital distribution platform, we did our studies on what genres work in this medium. We discovered that romance and drama are the most consumed genres in digital platforms. So we set out to experiment. We launched a story, Sugar Daddy Desire.
I think I've seen that one. Come through.
Yeah. I mean, the way this story exploded, it was way beyond what we would have ever imagined. I mean, almost, I think should be about 9 million views already. Yeah, 9 million views already on the platform. So, I mean, like, it's crazy. Every time we release a new episode, like, people follow new people. Not just in Africa, that's what's even surprising. I mean, we have readers in the US who are reading it, we have readers in France who are reading it. I mean, it was just wild. And going now to action, we have our flagship IP called Beats of Dazeti. I mean, this one too has really proven that African stories can work across different continents. You have readers writing in Indonesia, Singapore, who are reading Bits of Positive. It's an African action, sci-fi, fantasy story, a blend of all that, which is inspired by all the different regions of Africa. So you have North America represented, you have Southern Africa represented, East Africa, Central, and West represented through different clans in that story. And so it's a truly Pan-African story. So we've seen it, it's had a lot of success too. And I mean, it's really been an amazing journey. And talking about language, indeed, since we're primarily as a Cameroonian company, we have to serve both parts of our country, English and French. So we naturally just publish our stories in English and French. And the advantage is that it opens us to even more markets outside Africa, like in Europe, France. We have a lot of leadership in France. We have a lot of leadership in North America and even in Brazil. So it's actually been a good advantage for us.
No, that's very interesting that you do both French and English, and I think you said the busiest or the most downloadable title is the Sugar Daddy one, and you've got the active one, which is very interesting. So, with Zebra Comics, tell us what are some of the professions behind the comic? You know, you've got your graphic designer, I take it. You've got your script writer, I take it. And what are some of the professions behind it?
Yeah, so to best explain that, I'll just walk you down the production pipeline so that you can see clearly the different roles that need to gather in order to produce one episode. So first we have the writer. So someone has to come up with the story. Initially, what we do at Zebra is that most of the stories, like the 70 plus IPs that we produce, were produced in-house. So the ideas came from us in-house. And then along the way, we started bringing other writers to write. So the writer first. Now, after the writer, we have the storyboard artist. So someone who knows how to draw, basically, who has the skills to draw. So you can do the storyboards, who understands the flow of how panels flow in the comic. Especially as we specialize more in vertical scroll comics for mobile devices. So the storyboard artist, from the storyboard artist, it goes to the penciler. So the guy who just puts down like the sketches of what the scene would look like.
And what do you call them?
Then we have the inker, the penciler.
Oh, penciler. Okay.
So,
okay.
Yeah. So basically, it's still an artist too. So, and then from the penciler, we have the inker, the person who puts the final inks that you see in the final product. The penciler, we go now to the colorist, who puts the colors. Then we now go to the letterer, who puts the speech balloons. That's what you read while to follow the story. And then from the letterer, it goes back to an editor like myself, where I have to look through the entire flow to make sure there are no errors, there are no inconsistencies and all that. The letterer before we go to the translator. So those are the different.
That's interesting.
So you see, it's a whole pipeline.
Yeah,
it's a whole pipeline.
That's quite a range. That's quite a range of people involved in the production. But that also shows that there's opportunity in the comic industry. There are jobs that people can take up in the comic industry.
Definitely. Because what we realized when we started, a lot of people were trying to do this thing on their own. Like, I'm an artist, so let me just do everything. And you can be an artist, but you might not be a good writer. You could be an artist, but maybe your inking is good, but your coloring is poor. Or maybe you don't master lettering very well. Because every part of this chain needs a lot of skill and professionalism. So when you work as a group like this, because this is even the model that companies like DC Comics and Marvel, this are the same. This is how they work. It doesn't necessarily be the same person. And sometimes a different artist does part of the inking and another person completes the inking. So even at that level, they can be that level. They can be further decentralized to that level. So that's why we work like this. It's more efficient. You can produce more, and you can ensure more better quality.
Yeah, that's some sort of division of labor, isn't it?
Yeah. But what I will shock you is that when we started, the people behind this work were not necessarily professionals. For example, I'm a doctor by training, medical doctor,
All right.
fully
Okay.
trained. Yeah, fully trained medical doctor. But I did love writing and storytelling. That's why I was part of the team from the start, because I brought now that edge. I brought another part to our stories. We have Nate, who started the company, who studied law. So you
Oh, that's
see, when we're
interesting.
dealing with partners, you have now that person who can negotiate better because he
Mm,
masters the subject. Yeah.
mm.
We have Frank, a marketing guy, who studied marketing at a very high level and has worked at other companies at a very high level in marketing. But he's also a writer. So he contributes stories and contributes to marketing in the company. That's why we grow very fast. People wonder why we grow very fast, because we came with different skills and we added more skills to what we already had. So it helps us to grow very fast. So
No, that's
it's
interesting.
not, so with time now we hire people who are more specialized in the domain, people who learned art from the base.
Mm.
So and we got better and better. So it's actually it's always shocking when people hear our true backgrounds.
Yeah, no, it's interesting to explore this, and that's why we're speaking to you to, we've talked about the history of Zebra, we've looked at the professions behind Zebra, and the multidisciplinary titles and experiences you guys have got is great to know. So talk about Zebra. How do you promote it? How do people find out about Zebra Comics? Obviously from your website and your
Mm.
socials, but how else do people engage with Zebra Comics? Do you have a special campaign, or how people can read, tell their story, engage? Is there a way you're promoting that?
Yeah. The first, obviously, we have a marketing department. We have a
Mm,
marketing department where we actually have a very structured marketing plan every month.
mm.
I think, talking about comic books platforms in general, I think we have the most active social media. I think we have the most active social media because it's all based on the plan that we have. So every day there's posting, there's always something happening. So
That's
yeah, I
cool.
think the easiest way you can catch us is on social media, on X, on Instagram, on Facebook, on LinkedIn, like everywhere.
And is it the
And also
same
we have,
handle?
yeah, Zebra Comics Culture. Yeah, so we also have other uh, outreach programs that happen, like traditional marketing.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I think some of them are still under development, because as a digital platform, we focus more heavily on digital marketing, where we
Mm-hmm.
actually have traditional marketing projects or schemes that are currently under development. So I
Ongoing.
think
Mm.
when we'll start rolling them out, you'll see us more in the field doing some things. But in the past, we've had agents who went around and preached our message to the masses. So
That's
we also have fan encounters. Sometimes we invite our top fans to the office. I've done
mm-hmm.
that several times to listen to them, get their point of view of the platform and all that. Even creators, we speak to people who publish, because we also have the possibility for people to publish independently on
Mm.
our platform. So we speak to them to get what they have to say. So these are different ways that people can get to us. We have our emails, our official emails, and even our social media handles. People reach out to us through those channels. So I think that's what I can say for that.
Well, that's interesting. That's interesting. So have you written a comic about a superhero doctor yet? Who's saving the world?
Yeah. I actually have an idea about the Doctor, but the way I
Ebola.
see the way I see superhero stories now, I'm more into the how do I put it? I'm trying to move away from the way we have been like the capes, the superpowers, and all that. So I'm trying to look at it from a different lens now. Like, take for example, the best case is The Boys. It's a superhero story, but it feels different. It
Mm,
feels
mm.
it's not the usual. So yeah, I
So you
think that's
say,
how we're trying to approach superhero. I do have a story about a doctor doing some wonderful things. I will not spoil it for you now.
no,
but yeah,
uh,
but yeah.
so not
So
all superheroes wear capes.
Yeah,
It's true.
yeah,
Not all superheroes
yeah,
wear capes. Right. So I mean, when I've been thinking about this. When I was growing up, we do a lot of story time, and we used to call it in Ghana Anansi, where we are by the fire, coal pot, or
yeah.
logwood or whatever, with a boboton to the side. It's always in the background, and grandma, we're sitting on the low stools. Grandma, grandpa, or auntie is telling the story. You know, and one particular story is with the Anansi story. I know every country has got their unique creature or their unique story thing. Have you identified any interesting stories from other parts of Africa that you're telling or you're looking to tell?
Yeah. So, by the way, I know Anansi very well. So yeah, out of Africa, not yet, and I'll explain why. Usually, when you try to tell another person's story, you won't get it 100% right. I prefer to go to South Africa, for example, and get someone in South Africa to write about the culture of South Africa. There, I'm more certain about the authenticity of the story, the originality, and how it will relate to the South African audience. So we don't try to write other people's cultures. We prefer to have them write about the culture, and then we
Mm.
support that initiative. So if I come to Ghana, for example, I'll say, hey, maybe Gabriel wants to write about Nancy. So I'll say, okay, what's your plan? What storyline do you have around Anansi? Then I can chip ideas as a writer, as a storyteller. I can say, okay, uh, this opening hook is not the best. Yeah, cliffhanger is not the best, but the core of the story still comes from you. So that's how we approach it, and it's the same thing that we do for stories in Cameroon. Cameroon has over 250 tribes, so I can't write
About
authentically
every
for every tribe. Yeah, so I need to get the person who knows it better and write about it. What we can do like when we work with DC Comics on Superman, we had to find someone who could match Superman. So we went into the African law and we found a being that could embody a character that could come toe to toe with Superman, and then we created the story around. Now that's how we do it. But now it's somebody that we know. It's a culture that we can research on easily, that we can write authentically about. So, but if I have
No,
to
that's
go maybe
interesting.
to Ghana, to South Africa, it'll be more difficult, and I
Kenya.
might not hit. Yeah, I might not land properly, and then at the end they say, hey, how come in Cameroon write about South Africa? No wonder it looks like this. No wonder it doesn't feel authentic. So you don't want to do that, and let the person write about what he knows best.
Yeah. No, that's interesting. I know you mentioned DC Comics. Can you tell us that collaboration or plus any other international collaboration you've had? Because that really hit home really hard. Like it gave us a chance to actually see what Zebra Comics is all about.
Yeah. The funny story about this is it was one night it was a late night, we were going back home, and then we received an email, and I was like, what is this? It's claiming to be DC. So he wants to have a meeting with some other. Is this the new scam? Is this the new
You
scam out
can
there?
you can tell,
So we
yeah.
say, we're going to check this in the morning. I don't think this is true. So anyway, we didn't want. We were tired anyway. It was a long day, so we went in the morning. We checked again, and we were like, hey, we checked the names, and we were like, this thing seems to be real. But it was too good to be real anyway. So we checked it, and we said, hey, this thing is legit. And right up to the last moment when we had the meeting with the DC team, we were like, damn, this is true.
That's
So
good.
yeah, so that's how it was actually a very big surprise to us. So we started working with them on Joker. So we created a story around Joker, but like I said, we don't want you write best what you know. So we didn't want to create an African Joker. We created a story inspired by the Joker that we all know, which also involved the Joker. Yeah, so it was actually it was not that easy to handle, but I think we succeeded in the end. Same thing that we did for Superman. It was not about creating the African Superman or a black Superman, for example.
No.
It's about creating an original character in the Superman universe. So that's how we handled that. And we have Supergirl too that's coming. So it's been 3 years that and 3 collaborations that we've had with DC so far. And we hope we know it only get stronger and stronger, and even there's more that's going to come to it. But what this told us in the end was it was a confirmation of the work that we've been doing for the past years. Like, if an entity like DC can come towards you because of the work that you do, it all confirms that your work is being seen and people appreciate the work that you're doing, and it can go places. So what I tell African and other creators is that just keep doing the work and do it well. Do it so well that no one can deny it, because when you do it, like, people are going to see it. Yeah,
I think that's it. It's true. Do it so well that no one can deny it. You know, that's great.
Yeah.
And congratulations to you and the team, because it's giving you a lot of visibility and a lot of clout.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
from that.
With that, we got more partnerships with a media mogul in China. Recently, again, another one in South Korea, and another partner in Europe. So it's opened a lot of doors, and it's a confirmation to us.
Yeah, that's good. Whilst we're talking, I was thinking about, how do you get your stories, or have kids not come up to you and said, "Hey, I've got an idea of a comic thing," or "I've been writing my own comics. Have you looked at this?" Or have you not engaged in that regard? And or how do you get kids engaging with your comics?
I mean, like, we get emails like almost every day. To be honest, we get emails like almost every day. Like, people, I have this story, I think we do well. If you guys could help produce and publish this. The truth is that we can not go beyond a certain limit. So that's why we're trying to create a structured industry where everyone who wants to get into the medium can just naturally fit in. That's our major, that's the major objective at the moment. Yeah, we know what works, we know how the industry works, we know how to monetize and everything, but it's not just about us anymore. It's about the industry.
Yeah.
How can I produce my comic today and then find it on the big screen tomorrow or the small screen tomorrow? That's where our minds are. Yeah. Talking about the people do enjoy our stories. We get reviews. There's a comment section on the platform, on the app. People reply to our posts, so we see what people say about our stories, and we actually appreciate the good comments, and even sometimes the negative ones, because it helps you grow. So, yeah.
No, that's interesting, because I do remember when I was a kid. I'm not saying I'm a good artist or but we all had our own designs, and as we were talking, it came to mind that I have created 1 or 2 comics. If I go through my mom's house, I'll probably come out with some nice comics. But it's also an opportunity. Looking forward, bringing in the next generation and introduce them to comic designs, comic writing, and help them explore their talents and grow in that regard. But it would be interesting that we could do something to help promote it. Maybe review your comics weekly or monthly. What comics have you done in a month? It would be nice to get a review, either by your team or an independent person reviewing your comics, and we can talk about it, so we know how the story is panning out, so people can follow the comics. If that's something you'd be interested in.
That's actually very interesting. That's a very good idea. I think so far the only people who have done that, we have how do I put it, like a media group here in Cameroon called Entre Deux. So they have been doing a lot of work trying to promote African stories. So they do some reviews, they write articles on Facebook. They even made a show on YouTube where they review African comic books. So I think so far those are the best that I've seen, because they are quite organized and well structured. But it's something that we could also do at our own level, even though sometimes it's funny talking about yourself.
You could get an independent person to review it, someone who's been reading it.
Yeah. I think what we can do is we can support such initiatives from those who want to do with. Yeah, I think I agree
It'd be
with
nice
you.
to get that content or promote that content, so we know from different sides, the critic of the week and that kind of
Yeah,
thing.
yeah.
No,
On our
that's true.
page, we publish the top 10 every month. Yeah, so that's something that we started to not just our own IPs, but also for those who independent creators who are publishing the platform. So we publish the top 10 so that it kind of motivates them, because we see how it's like we're pushing their work to the world. These are the guys that did the best, that performed best in April, in May, and all that. So it actually motivates them. So it's something that we're going to continue doing, and even add more things to that. And like you said, anyone who wants to get into this, the best we can do is to support them.
Absolutely, that's great. So we are in 2026. It's May, and what is the future looking like in terms of Zebra Comics? Digital distribution. More fancy titles. What do you call this? Getting costumes made for cosplay.
Yeah,
cosplay. Getting costumes made for cosplay. What is the future looking like, and what are some of the major events we can find you in, if you've booked any yet?
Okay, so I think the watchword is structure. So that's what I see in the coming months, in the coming years, is structure. We will not be talking about the African industry is growing, because I think I've heard that a lot, and I'm kind of tired of hearing that we're growing. We can't be in a growing state forever.
Yeah.
We need to move from we are growing to we have grown. So what
we're going up to some point,
is,
we've moved from the basic growth to actual structured growth.
Exactly.
Like you say, keyword is structured growth.
Yes, yeah. So that's what I see, and that's where we're heading to, and that's we've already set up a lot of things. So no spoilers yet, but we're moving towards
updates. Yeah, we'll be waiting for updates on that. No, that's great. That's great. So, but the future is bright. The future is definitely bright.
Yes, it is.
Right. No, that sounds great. That sounds absolutely brilliant. So, I mean, what would you leave with us whilst we continue to download your comics on your website and follow you on social media? What would you encourage us? Or give us at least 2 recommendations that you want us to go and watch? Leading on to today's African month. I mean, we're in African month as well in May. So give us some recommendations as far as.
Okay. Sugar Daddy Desires, of course.
that looks like definitely we need to get that one.
You're gonna enjoy it. It's a lot of twists and turns, and I mean, even for me, who I'm not particularly a fan of romance and drama, but this one really caught my attention. I also recommend one of my own stories. It's called the 13th Apostle. It's a thriller, philosophical, and then sci-fi. So I like stories that make you think, like really get into your mind and makes you ask an existential question. So I'll recommend the 13th Apostle too.
That's great. So you've got it. The 13th Apostle is one of the ones that we need to look at, because I've seen the other one. Sugar Daddy. I've seen that one. So the 13th Apostle is the one for me that I'm gonna take on with. But we really appreciate your time. We really appreciate you making time today. We've been trying to reach you for a while, but we've managed to get it. But now going forward, I think we need to engage more to get the reviews, to get more stories about Zebra Comics, and let's grow the space from there.
Yeah. Anytime you're open to that, I'm just a call away. I think that's something great that we can do together. I'm looking forward to that.
Appreciate that. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much for opening your platform.